Sorry, Chairperson, my attorney has just asked me to emphasize the point that part of the delay had to do with the recordings that was not given to us, and which is quite important.
I'll give you an opportunity. You just... Ms. Van den Heever, we heard what you say, and what you said you wanted to emphasize, unless you want to add to that.
Just been asked by the attorney to emphasize the point. Those recordings are vital. They've been referred to by witnesses. And the day we received the recording, and I thank my learned friend for her intervention in that, was the very day that the statement was due. As you can imagine, we've got limited access to the client. I personally had to phone the head of CMAX to ask, please, can the attorney go in? And he's not even finished listening to the recording. So it's also impeded quite a bit of the issues. And then lastly, maybe I should also emphasize that you please take into account, Commissioners, that whilst this process of the 105 was unfolding, we were not part of it. We couldn't get instructions on it because somebody else was dealing with it. So even if we wanted to, we were basically, and I say this respectfully, cut off from dealing with the issue for other reasons that I assume will at some stage come to light here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Van den Heever. Ms. Silolo.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I have a witness whose testimony was deferred to later in the morning, and I'm quite mindful of that witness. So that constrains me significantly as to how I respond. So I will try to be as brief as possible, and in so doing, perhaps to assist the commissioners. I would like to start with where my learned friend ended, which is an offer to file the statement in 2 weeks. That effectively takes care of the first part of the ruling, or was it the second part, but one part of the ruling of the 7th to file in 2 weeks. We have spent over an hour engaging, my learned friend engaging you on matters that don't get to that conclusion. That's where she ought to have started and would have saved significant amount of time. I say this because on reading the affidavit in support of the application for postponement, one must bear in mind that we appeared before you on the 7th of July. Everything that is in that affidavit predates our appearance. And it is at that appearance, notwithstanding the facts as asserted in that affidavit, an undertaking was made. So if those facts were not relevant prior to the 7th, and the very facts, notwithstanding the very facts, they were able to make specific undertakings, which included filing by the 8th of July and appearing on the 15th, I truly do not understand how then they become relevant come the 15th. They revive, they suddenly become relevant. The challenge with this application is nothing in the affidavit speaks to the period between the 7th and the 15th. Nothing happened that even threatened the undertaking made to you on the 7th, Chair. So the question is, why must I entertain this entire argument, if not to waste the Commission's time? Mr. MATLALA'S legal representatives were informed by certain facts to conclude that they're in a position to make certain undertakings on his behalf. They don't come here and say, those facts have changed. They don't come here and say, since the undertaking was made, new facts have come to light that make it impossible for us to comply. So technically, that undertaking made is not worth the paper it's written on. And this is a complete waste of the Commission's time.
Can you,
Now-
sorry,
Yes.
Mr. Lula. Can you please make me understand something Ms. van der Heever said on the 7th?
Yes, Chair.
Ms. van der Heever indicated that she was agreeing to the filing
Yes.
by the deadline that was indicated, something like subject to the reservation of Mr. MATLALA'S rights. Even as she said that, I wasn't sure in my mind what exactly that meant. What was your understanding?
My understanding.
Of course, maybe I should have
subject.
asked, I should have put that question to Ms. van der Heever.
It's a subject, of course, to Ms. van der Heever confirming.
Yes.
But I'd understood that the proviso was file on the 8th, subject to Mr. MATLALA'S right to supplement statement filed. That was the reservation made.